mga kasangbahay! I'm Dr. Sara Barba Cabudel and this is your every Sunday health habit companion, Doctors on TV. Mga kasangbahay na kababaihan, ako kamusta ang inyong pangangalaga sa inyong sarili? Madalas po tayo ang unang nagigising sa umaga at huling nagpapahinga sa gabi. We take care of everybody else, at home, at work, in the community, but are we looking after our very own wellness? And when I say women's wellness, it's not just about avoiding illness. It's so much more than that. At tatalakayin natin ito ng buong buo in today's episode of Doctors on TV. Sabi nga po nila, we can't give what we don't have. We have to take good care of ourselves before we can take care of everything else. And before we go deep into tackling women's health, let's have this healthy dose of information.
Alam niyo ba na ang women's health practices noong unang panahon ay nakasentro lamang sa fertility, reproduction at childbirth? Ngunit pagsapit ng 19th century ay na-develop ng kinikilalang father of modern gynecology na si Dr. James Marion Sims ang isang revolutionary approach upang gamutin ang mga sakit ng kababaihan. Isa sa kanyang naging innovation ay ang first successful treatment para sa vesicovaginal fistula. Taong 1992 naman nang simula ng National Institutes of Health ng Estados Unidos ang pinakamalaking pag-aaral sa women's disease kung saan isinailalim sa pagsusuri ang 160,000 postmenopausal women sa US. Nasuri ng mga researcher ang epekto ng paggamit ng hormone replacement therapy, diet, at exercise laban sa coronary heart disease, breast at colon cancer at maging sa osteoporosis. Sa pagpasok naman ng 21st century ay nagkaroon ng mas comprehensive approach sa women's health evolution na nakafocus sa female-specific health issues.
Ladies, self-care is not selfish. Sa dami po ng ginagampanan nating papel na kung minsan ay nakakalimutan na nating alagaan ang ating mga sarili and this is wrong. Kaya ngayong umaga, pag-uusapan po natin how we can protect and improve our wellness sa lahat ng aspeto. Joining us today is an expert in women's overall wellness. Welcome to Doctors on TV, Dr. Ryan Raymond Y. Bautista, the head of the Makati Medical Center Wellness Center. Hi, Doc Ryan.
Araw sa iyo.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, and then, of course, it's always good to have you here in the show. No?
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and mga kasambahay, ito ay a common face po dito sa ating programa dahil suking-suki natin yan dito. At of course, ito ay isa sa mga matalik nating kaibigan nung ako'y nag-aaral pa ho ng medisina. Way back mga a few years ago lang.
Few years ago lang.
Okay, so ito, Doc, no, we'll be understanding women's wellness here. No? Okay, so yung unang tanong, when we say general or women's general wellness, what exactly does it mean?
Okay, so it entails from a very specific life stage event or era ng pagkababaihan which deals with or is catered around what we call as the XX chromosome for its preventive, predictive, and also disease-specific for the wellness of the women. It tackles not only metabolic, cardiovascular, hormonal, but also ang ating mga psychological or mental health.
Okay, so basically lahat ng aspeto.
Lahat ng aspeto.
Mula nung una, okay, hanggang ito kung ilang edad na ang isang babae.
O nung nasa antong stage, mula menarche hanggang menopause and beyond.
Menarche is yun po yung unang beses na nagkaroon ng pagdalaw or ng pagreregla ng isang babae, ano? And hanggang menopause, hanggang matapos ang itong
matapos.
Yeah,
Correct.
of course, kasi mahaba yun hanggang buhay ang isang babae. Okay.
Tama.
But you know, when we talk about women's health, how is this different from men's health?
Okay, so from that question, Dr. Sara, it's very specific when it comes to the hormones, body structure, as what we mentioned. Also, how the disease presents itself sa ating mga kababaihan. Usually, sa mga lalaki kasi, nakikita ka rin ng simptomas. Sa mga babae, di ko masasabing mas resilient sila, but more hormonal specific siguro, yung mga simptomas po is hindi basta-basta lumalabas. So, mas mahirap po silang i-diagnose in a sense. Kasi sometimes, siguro sa kanilang katatagan, hindi basta-basta lumalabas ng mga simptomas. So, hindi sila nagko-complain kaagad. Compared sa lalaki.
Sa lalaki, okay. So, basically, it all, it just boils down sa magkakaiba sila kasi ng needs also.
Needs and body structure.
And body structure.
Coming from the hormonal perspective, also reproductive, right?
Oh, yeah,
So
oo.
hormonal, we have the estrogen and progesterone ng babae. Sa lalaki, more on the testosterone.
Yeah.
Also, sa ating reproductive organs, andyan yung mga ovaries, uterus, fallopian tube, and which is also the causes of the unique diseases ng ating mga kababaihan.
Nasa babae lang, kalimitan.
Yes,
Okay, but
correct.
of course, alam natin kanina, na-mention ko kung ano yung role ng isang babae. Napakarami. Kaming pinakagising ng una,
Yes.
kaming pinakahuling matutulog. I mean, we have a lot of roles, okay, to portray. And so, dapat talaga alagaan ng mga kababaihan. But, Doc, usually, ano ba yung makalimitang health concerns ng mga babae?
Okay. So, yung kalimitan nilang health concern is also the specific health concern lang para sa babae. Madalas namin na-encounter. Kagaya niyan from the menarche, magkakaroon sila ng mga PCOS na tinatawag natin, yung polycystic ovarian syndrome, which gives them sometimes yung mga acne or hormonal imbalance as well.
Nagkakabuhok sila dun sa mga
Yes, correct.
mga hindi dapat meron pang lalaki
or
lang, di ba?
excessive hair dun
Excessive
sa mga
hair.
lugar na hindi dapat. So
Yeah.
may mga ganun hormonal imbalance silang nararanasan sa ganung edad. Meron din po tayong tinatawag na mga infertility. Kaya po magbuntis. Or pag nagbuntis naman, as we know, there are certain complications that may arise like gestational diabetes, yung mga hypertension sa pagbubuntis. So iba din po yun. Ibang aspect naman po ng kabuhayan ng babae po yun. Meron din po tayong tinatawag yung mga papuntang premenopausal, which has also hormonal imbalance. Nagkakaroon na po sila ng hot flashes. And pag nag-menopause naman po, nandiyan na po yung setting ng mga osteoporosis sa mga bone health naman po nila.
Oo, yung
ang
mga
consideration.
nakukuba, tapos prone sa
Nakukuba.
fracture din, di ba?
Correct.
Okay. So, but dito, titingnan natin, being a wellness expert, okay? So, I'm sure gustong malaman ng ating mga viewers, dito pumapasok yung importansya ng lifestyle, okay? So, how does lifestyle affect the overall wellness ng kababaihan?
Okay. Mostly not lang sa kababaihan, kahit sa bata, sa matatanda. Ang lifestyle kasi, doktora, is the most underrated prescription na binibigay natin. It is always important na yun po yung ating ginagawa at ang ating nirekomenda sa mga pasyente. They might say, nasa lahi namin yan. Please remember that the genes may load the gun, but the lifestyle triggers the gun.
May gusto ko yan, ulitin mo, Doc.
Or kung ayaw po sa baril na reference, yung genes po natin na nagbubukas ng pinto, yung lifestyle po natin na nagpapapasok ng mga diseases.
Okay, so ibig sabihin, don't disregard lifestyle kasi
Yes.
kahit pa, di ba kasi usually yung mga ibang sakit, lagi sasabihin, hindi kaya nagka-cancer kasi gawa ng may genes eh. Pero usually sa studies, it depends kung anong journal,
Yes,
5 to
correct.
10% lang ang ano. Pero magtataka ka, iba may lahi, pero hindi lahat ng nasa pamilya nagkaroon ng ganong
Kung
cancer.
sino nasa lahi.
Oo.
Remember, yun nga po, ang genes po natin maglo-load ng ating gun, but it's our lifestyle that will trigger kung sino makakapasok na sakit sa ating katawan.
Okay, so napakahalaga po niyan. Okay, but how about the preventive care? How important is it? Okay, why is it even important na, okay, kasi di ba parang minsan walang symptoms. So, ano yung correlation ng pagka-preventive care saka para dito sa mga cases na nadadiagnose na, teka muna, biglang sumulpot itong sakit na to, wala naman naramdaman yan before.
Okay. Yun nga ang importante sa women's health kasi sabi ko nga kanina, by study, ang women po is date na po nila naramdaman yung mga simptomas. So mas mahirap din pong habulin o i-manage. That's why we always encourage ng kanilang checkups kasi po we cannot manage what we don't measure.
Oh, yeah.
So, kung wala pong mga tests, diagnostic tests, laboratory tests, di po natin sila mape-prevent at mape-predict o kahit pa paano man po maagapan yung kanilang mga sakit. So, it's very, very important for your question for the routine checkup. It starts with even their pediatrics, di po ba?
Bata
Ang
pa.
bata pa lang, para mag-guide po going to menarche and their reproductive age, which around 26. Yung mga bakuna nun, doktora, is very, very important from the HPV. Kasi we try to protect them when they go older. You know that HPV is one of the most common cause of cervical cancer, di po ba? So, yun pa lang, nakakaroon tayo ng protective mechanism pagdating sa bata. When it comes naman to reproductive age, as what we have discussed, yung mga hormonals po nila, changes, PCOS, infertility, has to be discussed going to their 40s and 50s. When 40s to 50s naman, we manage their cortisol. We know that
Stress
very well.
hormone.
Yes, very good.
Yeah.
Our stress hormones, because those are the time yung mga career po nila, managing the family is there. So we have to manage that also. As we know, in the medical field, Yung cortisol po is a kalaban ni estrogen and progesterone.
Oh, yeah. Oo,
So,
okay.
yung kanilang imbalance doon, mas lalo na-heighten. And as we know also, sa mga babaeng pong postmenopausal na po, bumababa na po yung estrogen and progesterone. Nagsiset in po yung ating mga postmenopausal syndromes and yung bone health po nila. That's why women are more affected when it comes to osteoporosis,
Yeah.
muscle loss, and
And a lot more,
flexibility,
yeah.
and a lot more.
Not to forget yung cancer also that
Yes.
you actually increase the risk
Risk.
of having like breast, ovarian,
Correct.
endometrial cancer, lalo na pag bumababa na yung hormones kasi these hormones are actually protective of the
Yes,
women.
doon po siya, pag mababa na po, nawawala na po yung kanilang proteksyon. It opens their door for cancers, not only for reproductive, also for thyroid. We know also for
Yeah.
study na ang thyroid cancer also is more predominant sa women compared to male. So we have to see that also.
So babae
And-
na naman.
Yes.
Sabi na nga bias ka, Doc.
No,
Hindi,
there's-
I'm just kidding. Okay, so dito, ano yung usually mga, routine check-ups na dapat hindi na-skip ng mga kababaihan?
Okay. So, besides the routine metabolic checkups like yung ating mga blood works, kanilang, what you call this, yung kanilang blood pressure, blood chemistry, dapat po maintindihan natin na at around 30s po, pwede na po, especially for those na, lalo na bumabata, doktora, pwede po sila mag-subject sa regular pap smear or pap auto na tinatawag natin. Especially, it depends on how sexually active they are. When it comes to 40s and going to 50s, probably, nandiyan na po yung ating mga ultrasound na breast and even for the reproductive age. For 60s, besides dun sa ating mga metabolic na sinasabi kanina, pwede na po pumasok yung ating mga bone density test to see how early or how can we prevent those musculoskeletal problems that will happen to them in the future. So again, so 20s, we'll do the reproductive age screening that we have. For the blood works also, metabolic, also hormonal. We measure it as a baseline. 30s to 40s po, we use our diagnostic test to cover their estrogen level, progesterone level, cortisol levels po, kanilang pong stress. As what you mentioned in the opening spiel, that women tend to do more, multitask more, and take care of
Yeah.
everybody. And as what you mentioned also, how you cannot give what you don't have.
Yeah.
So you have to take care of your health from that point on. And then when it comes to the pre-menopausal part, we manage their stress, mental health, and also, pag post-menopausal part naman, we screen them for cancers na. Yung gastrointestinal, reproductive, and also for their bone health din.
So basically, overall wellness talaga. Okay,
Yes,
so we're
yes.
not just focused doon sa reproductive
Yes.
system of female individual.
Yes. The female individual, as what we mentioned, are prone to more stress in life and cardiovascular, not only cardiovascular but also metabolic.
Oh, okay. So, and when we talk about metabolism, of course, syempre dito, nutrition also plays a major role here. Okay, so and how about nutrition? How important is it po in maintaining the health of women?
Nutrition is always the foundation of our health. It's one of our pillars, Doktora. Dito.
Sa lifestyle, di ba?
Lifestyle, it's yung kasama sa sleep, si nutrition. Our nutrition today will dictate our physiology tomorrow. So kung ano kinain natin will dictate what will be our future. We are what we eat. So hindi nila basta-basta mamamanasan, but kunyari mahilig po silang kumain ng carbs, it increases their insulin sensitivity. So what happens next? Probably it exposes them for diabetes.
Medyo tinatamaan ako ng contest light. Okay, hindi. Kasi I'm sure yung mga kababaihan, di ba? I mean, maganda yung ganitong klase ng interviews and very comprehensive yung sinishare mo, Doc. Okay, of course, not to, I don't wanna disregard yung pagiging keen listener mo dun sa opening spiel kasi it says a lot of things, And ito, Doc, kasi di ba na-mention mo yung nutrition, how about exercise or physical activity? So, what type of exercise is best, okay, for women of different ages?
Okay, yan. Magandang tanong yan for different ages because we classify it also based on their age group. Usually for the 20s and reproductive, yun ang kanilang infrastructure build-up. Kung ano yung activities nyo po ng 20 or 30, how you move, how often you exercise will dictate your bodies from 30 and beyond. So yun ang infrastructure build-up po natin. Kung iiwasan yung maging obese pa lang at that age, it will tell a lot pag edad po nila ng 30s, 40s, and 50s.
Kung magiging anong size ng damit mo
Yes,
pagdating
probably.
ng 40, 50s.
Oo,
Okay.
kasi alam naman natin yun, di ba? Kunyari, I'm size 4 or size 2. and then they will monitor increasing in
Yeah.
size, they know that they have to go back to that infrastructure nila ng
O kasi,
20s and 30s.
ang nangyayari, like ako, size 0 noon. So, syempre, medyo lumaki kang contest light, naging size 2. Nangyayari, hinahabol mo yung paglaki mo when dapat
Correct.
hindi tayo bumibili ng bagong damit, mga kasambahay. Tayo yung mag-a-adjust. Teka muna, hirap na hirap tayo dito sa damit. mag-adjust, mag-trim down tayo ng weight. Rather
Yes.
than, we will buy another and then magbibuild ang dami-dami ng damit na hindi mo maggamit. And of course, it's beyond that eh. Yung fat deposition inside,
Correct.
okay, nakabalo sa mga organs, yung tinatawag natin na visceral fats, right?
Yes.
Doc?
Oo. So alam mo na yung baseline mo from what you mentioned, 0 ka dati. Do not, nagiging warning signs siya sa'yo pagdating ng 4 or 6
Tapos
na.
nagkalagay
diba?
na ka na ng 1. So, hindi siya
Oo.
0, 1, 1, 0. So, that's size 10 na, no?
Oo.
That's a lot, yeah.
So that's from the 20s and 30s. For 40s, probably dyan na yung exercise that can relieve their stress. Not only for metabolism, yung mga running, I saw how fad it is, yung mga marathons po natin ngayon, but it really, really helps sa kanilang mga cortisol level para bumaba, 40s and 50s. Now, when we reach now menopausal age, probably dun yung flexibility. Because one fear na problema po ng mga postmenopausal women is their flexibility when they go to fall or geriatrics po na tinatawag po natin, di ba? Because that fall is detrimental to their health. Kasi yung bones po nila medyo sensitive na and they're open also for cancer. So
Yeah.
yung kanilang lifestyle pagdating ng 60, how they exercise, really dictates the longevity ng kanilang buhay.
Okay, and gusto ko yung minention mo yung iba't ibang klase ng physical activity that would best fit para sa
Correct.
certain age group. Kasi now naman, though sabi naman nila when you seek help from a physical trainer, minsan like kalimitan 500 pesos lang, parang ganun. Pero kasi at least yun yung susundan mo kung ano yung para sa'yo. Kasi you're not supposed to be performing something na hindi kakayanin ng katawan mo.
Correct.
Pero yung sinabi mo kanina, Doc, maganda, here sa Doctors on TV, pwede nilang i-search kung how this kind of physical activity or exercise po is being performed. Nakita may guide naman sa YouTube, di ba?
Yes. And when they always ask that in the clinic, I always tell sa mga pasyente, just follow the 3S. You can start slow.
Slow.
Try mo slow. It is steady. Constant.
Steady.
Constant.
Regular.
Regular. And sustainable for you. What does it mean? It doesn't have to be a group sport. Kasi, kunyari, yung isa, hindi pa pwede, hindi na ako mag-exercise kasi yung katag team ko o yung kalaro ko hindi na makakapaglaro.
Oo nga.
So, it has to be also sustainable na pwede mo siya magawa kahit ikaw lang mag-isa. Or your habit forming na may exercise mo siya parate. So, slow, steady, and sustainable. So that exercise program can also fit whatever age group that you are achieving or nasaan ka na po nagbibelong.
Pero Doc, paano yung mga di ba marami rin yung mga Zumba group, no? Yung
Yeah.
mga ganyan-ganyan sa nakikita natin pag mga weekend mornings, di ba?
Correct. Oo.
Sa mga barangay, okay?
Oo.
We want these mga support groups di ba?
Tama. It also promotes socialization. So, kaya maganda
Less
din po
stress.
siya. Less stress, nakakapag-usap, their socialization, their oxytocin level will go up, and they will meet new friends, so validated. It also
Problema may
contributes to
marites
mental health.
after yung iba.
Yun lang.
So, mas stress. Okay. So, ito, Doc, na-mention na natin kanina yung nutrition, physical activity. So, another pillar of lifestyle would be sleep. How important is sleep, okay, para ma-maintain ang women's health?
It's very, very important. Tama ka doon, Dr. Sarah. It's one of the pillars of health, right? Yung sleep. Paano, ang quality of sleep is really, really important for a female, depending also on their cyclical event sa kanilang
Patterns
buhay.
ng-
Patterns.
yeah, okay.
Like, for the menstruation, alam natin pag progesterone po, medyo tumataas, nagkakaroon ng fragmented sleep. Lalo na yung mga nagdi-dysmenorrhea. So, nawawala po yung tulog po nila. O sa mga babaeng pong buntis. First trimesters po, medyo mataas pong progesterone. So, kontra po yun sa kanila or masyadong kanilang excitement, anxiety, tumataas, nahirapan po tumulog. Pag the third trimester, malaki na po yung baby, fragmented sleep po ulit. So,
yeah.
meron din po siyang ganung factor. And then, yun, pag mga postmenopausal naman po, at 60s, wala na po yung estrogen and progesterone, nagkakaroon po sila ng hot flashes, nahihirapan din po matulog. So, there are certain life events or cyclical events ng babae na nakaka-affect dun sa kanilang circadian rhythm that also affects their health in the long run because of the decrease in quality of sleep.
Okay, and siguro it's worth mentioning also, Doc, di ba? Kasi lahat ngayon, naka-gadget, tapos ayan, nandyan. And, ito kasi may mga blue light, 'di ba?
Yes.
Sabi nila, of course, if you would want to say, kunyari, I would want to achieve na tulog na ako by, sabi mo ng 10. Kasi minsan parang masyado namang pangarap yung 9, 'di ba? O 10. So dapat yan at least 2 hours, wala ka nang tininya na gadget. Okay? Or else that would be, that would be inhibitory dito sa ating pineal gland. Yung pong parang may pula dito, parang
Yes,
sinasabi
oo.
dito pag sa mga Indians.
Melanopsin,
No? Yun. So, yun yung ating pineal gland. Yun po ang nagsisecrete ng melatonin. Ito po ang responsible na hormone, tama, Doc?
Yes.
Para sa maayos na tulog.
Tulog,
So,
correct.
what we want actually is deep, uninterrupted, continuous sleep. Sabihin, hindi porking, teka, natulog ako, babawiin. And wala pong nakakabawi ng puyat. Diba?
Opo. It will catch up to you. Actually, we have 3 tests to also, as a tip sa ating mga listeners to do that. Yung mga nagsiset po ng alarm, thank you, Doctor, for mentioning it. Kunyari, nagset ka ng alarm ng 6 o'clock at nagising ka ng mga 5:30, 5:45, it means that you have a good sleep. Pag sa hapon po, mga 3 o'clock, naghahanap ka na ng upper, like chocolates o coffee, it means that you had a fragmented sleep. Di po ba? Kasi parang gusto mo pang maging awake at hindi ka kontento within the day. Sa weekend, as what you mentioned, pag mas mahaba ang tulog nyo ng weekend, that's what we call as a catch-up sleep. So, ibig sabihin, you have to do it within Monday to Friday. As what they say, Doc Sara, sleeping happens when you wake up.
Sleeping happens when you
Wake up. pala.
Okay.
Whatever we do throughout the day will dictate how we are gonna sleep at night.
Minsan kasi yung puyat mo hindi lang from last night.
Yes,
ang
correct.
problem is parang you've been like stressed for the past so weeks.
Correct.
And then so parang gusto mo matulog ng forever.
Yes. Kaya pag
Okay.
weekend, mas mahaba po yung tulog nila. There's something wrong between Monday to Friday na ginagawa niyo.
But what I mean is gigising pa rin po ha.
Yeah, oo, gigising.
Pinatawa dito sa set Okay, so yon. So yun po. Kasi there's no such thing talaga as babawian. Just like sa exercises, di ba? Kalimitan, yung mga nag-work, ideally, di ba sabi mo kanina, dapat meron ka certain number of minutes every day. Nangyayari doon sa yung mga working individuals, may tinatawag na weekend warrior na
Yes.
parang they'll just do it on the weekend, parang ganon.
There are little things that they can do not from the weekend, but from their days in the office, like what we mentioned, climbing up the stairs.
Akala ko matutulog po sa office.
Wag, baka mawala
Okay.
sila sa
Wala
walang
ng
trabaho.
work.
Opo.
Okay. So, mahirap ma-maintain ang women's health kapag po
Yes.
wala na tayong trabaho. Ito, bakit key part ang mental health when we talk about women's wellness?
Okay. The brain kasi, whether male or female, dictates whatever happens to every part of our organ. So, especially for women, that they have more complexities, there's a study nga, mas condense ang brain ng women kaysa sa men, di po ba? And mas madami pong stress level by giving yourself to the family, which increases their sympathetic nervous system, which increases also kanilang fight or flight, which also opens the risk for cardiovascular and ibang types of diseases for women. So, if they don't have a calm mind, wala pong peace of mind na tinatawag po natin, it opens their body to several diseases na magiging problematic at the end. It's by nature of a woman talaga to be caring. I experienced that
So,
with my mother and my wife also. So, yun po yung challenges nila when
So,
it
medyo
comes to
stress ba
mental
si
health.
wifey? Hindi naman.
That depends on what cyclic
Dapat yata
stage
siya yung
of...
tanongin ko, no?
Correct.
Okay, so ito lang, I just wanna ask, kasi is this the reason why mas stress talaga yung mga babae? So hindi dahil sa parang responsibilities nila. It's more so parang, of course you mentioned a while yung parang yung structural
Architecture
build nila, architecture of the
Hormones,
women's
yes.
body, yeah. Yung hormones, is that so?
Compared to men are more linear. Alam natin from bata tatanda. For women, there are more what we call as infraradian. Meaning, cyclical sila talaga every month. Not only their stress will dictate also their menstrual cycle.
Oo nga, andaya. Meron kayong mga once lang. Kunyari, once lang yung circumcision. Kami, na best kami
Oo.
magbubuntis. Ang dami mga
pagbubuntis.
pains,
Correct.
diba?
Oo.
Okay.
So yung cyclical nila will also be dictated or nakakabit siya dun sa cortisol, Doc Sara, as what we mentioned kanina. The more you're stressed, makikita to ng ating mga women's listener, nagbabago yung kanilang menstrual cycle. Doon pa lang, alam nyo na how important mental health is for women.
Pero eto, Doc, so ano yung advice natin sa women para mas mamamanage sila yung stress in their daily life?
Okay. So, besides sa sinabi natin kanina, you cannot give what you don't have, their stress po kasi really dictates how the family, ang ilaw ng tahanan talaga. So, ang kanilang dapat gawin, is to take a breather. Have a me time also for them. Take care of their health. Daily checkups. Make sure that they are mentally healthy and physically healthy and physiologically healthy before they take care of their family as well.
Okay, ito naman, what signs, okay, na yung makikita talaga sa mga babae na, naku, kailangan na nito ng mental health
Okay.
support.
So, ang most common also for mental problems ng ating mga kababaihan is depression. Yung anhedonia, yung feeling na hindi na sila masaya kahit dati masaya yung ginagawa nila, is a one sign. Also, kapag nagkakaroon na ng mental fatigue or mental fog, alam natin na highly cognitive ang mga babae, magaling mag-iisip, tapos they are the ones taking care of the family. Pag nagkakaroon na po sila ng parang mental fog or at least signs and symptoms, as what we mentioned before, pain is not the enemy. It's a messenger kasi sa katawan na may problema. So they have to listen and have what we call this, a checkup or at least a support or someone to let it out with their partners para matulungan din kanilang mental.
So, naku, di dapat dito napakahalaga yung support talaga ng kasama mo, katuwang mo sa buhay.
Oo.
Ang buong family also, Doc, no?
Oo, di ba ang sabi nga nila, I heard it in one phrase, the most important decision that you will make is your spouse. Sino makakasama mo.
Kaso minsan kasi syempre, kumbaga kunya, ako hindi po to, I'm not speaking from experience, napakabait ng aking asawa. And then, but of course, we would encounter syempre we would hear
Yes, of course.
real stories from our patients na parang
Stress.
yung stress kasi would be yung sa family setup. So, and syempre, you're tied up already, di ba? Sometimes kahit na parang ang tagal na, over decades already, you're trying to resolve some issues which cannot still be resolved. Minsan ito yung pakiramdam nila na nagdudulot ng stress sa kanila. Anong pa ipapayo natin?
Yun, although the spouse is there, you just need someone to reach out to or to talk to. Because yung mailabas o ma-vent out mo lang siya, Doc, sa physiologically, it validates your mental health by your hippocampus and amygdala. As what we know also, by mere on contact or socialization, as what you mentioned kanina, may peer group, even for your exercise.
Yeah.
It really, really helps their mental health. And
Kaya
even their physiological.
yung mga di ba dami na stress ng pandemic, yung mga naging plantita.
Yes, oh.
And then marami tayong mga fur babies. Yan,
For
okay ba
babies.
yan? Would you
Correct.
recommend that?
Oo, as long as you have an interaction or social interaction, it greatly helps the mental health of the women. Not only for the spouse, but also for their kids also, or kapatid,
kids,
siblings,
oo.
parents, or anything. It validates also their mental health. So, also helps in their well-being.
Yeah,
Kahit
and
paano.
siguro sa panawagan sa ating mga viewers na mga anak, mga apo. Siguro maganda kasi 'di ba syempre may mga pinagdaraanan ng ating mga lolo-lola o pag medyo may edad na ang ating mga magulang. Maganda rin na pinapakita natin na nandito tayo, mahal na mahal natin sila. Malaking
Sakit.
bagay 'yon. Okay,
Yes.
lalo na pag mga na-diagnose ng mga ibang sakit. Maganda rin 'yun na parang nay o kaya tay, lolo, lola, hindi niyo po to laban. Kami na hong bahala. Ayun,
Oo.
magandang marinig 'yon.
May offloading na tinatawag
Yeah,
tayo doon.
oo.
Yung kanilang stress nababawasan once they know that they are someone to rely on o may kasama.
Uy, nakakatuwa naman. Ang ganda nitong interview na to. Thank you very much, Doc Ryan. No? Ang dami, I'm sure, nakaka-relate ang ating mga viewers. No? But of course, I just want to say that I'm happy to see more and more women learning to set boundaries. Nakaka-proud makitang natututo na ang maraming kababaihan na pangalagaan ng kanilang physical and mental health. And we'll talk more about women's overall wellness sa pagbabalik po yan ng Doctors on TV. Napakahalaga po ng papel ng mga babae sa pamilya, sa trabaho sa komunidad. Kaya pagdating po sa pangangalaga sa ating sarili, huwag tayong basta maniniwala na kung sasabi-sabi. It's time to correct business beliefs on women's wellness. Dito lang sa Mythbuster. So, Doc Ryan, sasagutin po natin isa-isa ang mga karaniwang paniniwala tungkol sa kalusugan ng kababaihan. Please tell us kung ito ay myth or fact. And please briefly explain kung why. Okay, kung kailangan, are you ready, Doc?
Okay, ready?
Okay, so myth or fact? Bawal mag-exercise kapag may buwan ng dalaw.
Okay, that's a long-standing physiological myth. Hindi ho siya bawal. Ito po walang contraindication sa pag-exercise. Mayroon pa nga hong study na nagiging natural analgesic ang menstruation kapag nag-exercise. And they can do more.
Okay, so wag natin bigyan ng dahilan na hindi
Oo,
tayo mag-exercise.
hindi
Tsaka
totoo.
matagal yan kung kunyari 5 to 7 days.
Yes.
Tsaka di ba you feel bloated? Ay, syempre hindi mo alam. Pero kami mga babae, we feel bloated in fact kapag meron kaming dalaw. Okay, so I think it would even help
Yes,
more
correct.
para ma-relieve. Kaya yung sinasabi mo na it can be an analgesic in
Yes,
fact.
natural
yung exercise.
analgesic.
Okay, so ito po. Responsibilidad lang ng babae ang mga gawaing bahay.
That is a social, cultural relic myth. Hindi po. And I know some people, barkada, na sila po ang nagtatrabaho, ang babae po nagtatrabaho, ang lalaki po nasa bahay. So lumang tawag nito, cultural practice na po siya. So hindi po siya totoo.
And I love you for that. Ayoko na kaming babae lang ang kumikilos, di ba? Kailangan tayong lahat ay magtutulungan sa
Yes.
ating pamamahay.
Correct.
Okay po. And then of course, nakikita ng mga kabataan also. Di ba? We train our kids to be, more responsible individuals come yung time nila na magkaroon sila ng sarili nilang pamilya.
Correct. It teaches whether male or female na kabataan pag nakikita nila sa magulang nila na tumutulong si tatay, kay nanay.
Okay, so ito po, pwedeng bawiin sa healthy na pagkain ang kakulangan sa tulog.
Okay. So those are two different currencies. Yung pagkain, as what we mentioned, nutrition and sleep is two foundations. So magkaiba po sila, hindi po sila pwede magbayad sa isa't isa. And vice versa. Kunyari kulang po kayo sa tulog, i-make up nyo sa pagkain, hindi kaya makakabayad sa kulang ng tulog. And vice versa, kulang ka gutom po kayo, poor nutrition, itutulog ko na lang, hindi ho pwede.
Oo, kasi nangyayari, nagpupuyat sa work.
Correct.
Alas stress, gising pa, kaya lang dahil nagpupuyat ka, kain ka ng kain.
Kain
Hindi
ka
mo
ng
na
kain.
mababurn yun. So in
Yes.
fact, tataba ka.
Tataba ka,
Okay, and prone ka sa mga cardiovascular
Yes.
diseases. Okay, so yan, myth po yan. So ito po, myth or fact, sapat na ang vitamins at supplements para maging healthy ang isang busy na babae.
Hindi. As what we mentioned, from the word itself, supplement, so dagdag lang po siya. Hindi siya kasama sa foundation. Kailangan po, mahusay ang foundation bago nyo dagdagan. So it's a myth. Kailangan mahusay po muna ating nutrition, sleep, and mental health well-being before po siya dagdagan ng any supplement.
Okay,
So,
very
myth
well
po.
explained, Doc. Okay, ito po, myth or fact, kailangan lang ang routine check-up kapag nasa 50s na ang isang babae.
Okay, so sasagutin ko siya, hindi siya myth, hindi fact, it's mandatory. So hindi po siya 50 lang, and kailangan po magpa-check up as what we mentioned or discussed, kung anong age level po kayo. There's a certain requirement for female and mental health also of the women. So based on the age, not only 50, mandatory po siya talaga magpa-check up if 50 na po kayo. Pero sa mga edad na mas bata o mas matanda, kailangan nyo din po magpa-check up.
The sooner you start, the better.
The better.
Okay, so ito po, myth or fact, kapag payat ang babae, naku malamang walang sakit.
Okay, that's a myth. Myth po siya kasi may tinatawag po kaming thin outside, fat inside.
Thin outside?
Thin outside, fat inside. What does that mean? Metabolically obese, normal weight. So may ganun po tayo mga pasyente na akala nila, uy, okay naman yung timbang ko. When we take the blood exam and we do the examinations, mas matataas pa ho kaysa doon sa minsan sa obese. So what we call thin outside, fat inside, and metabolically obese, normal weight.
Oh, pero wag naman masyadong ngumiti yung mga fat
Mga
outside.
fat
Kasi baka mas
outside.
malala inside, di ba?
Correct,
Worse
correct.
outside. Okay, ito po. Myth or fact, pangmayaman lang ang self-care.
That is also a myth. It depends naman sa self-care na gagawin nyo, Doc Sara. Siguro for what we have talked about, for sleeping, if you sleep 8 hours sa bahay compared to 8 hours sa hotel, mas mahal po talaga magiging bayad mo dun sa hotel. Or exercise with the gym compared to exercise in the house. May gastos po talaga ang ating mga pasyente. But what I'm trying to say, may naman po mga self-care na are cheaper and can sustain para lang po maalagaan ang kalusugan.
Sure, pwede ka magtanim ng gulay sa
Exactly.
bakuran. Pwede ka mag-sit-ups, mag-jumping jacks. Okay, so walang bayad yon. Okay, so
Or magluto sa bahay compared na healthy meal rather
healthy
than
meal.
buying out.
kakain sa
Oo,
sa labas.
mas mahal sa labas.
mahal. At hindi mo din alam kung mas healthy ba.
Exactly.
Paano nila niluto?
Paano niluluto, ano yung nakalagay doon sa pagkain compared sa nakokontrol mo, mas tipid at mas healthy yung kinakain.
So kaya ba yung pagluluto ng mga nanay? Ako nga tawag ng bulalo sa amin, bulalove.
Yeah.
Lumaki yung mga anak ko, akala nila ang tawag sa bulalo, bulalove. Why? Because it's full of love.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, dyan nag-excel yung sa cooking din ating mga nanay.
Nanay.
Oo, they know what's healthy for us, ano yung mga pagkain. That's why we always go back to home-cooked meals. Di ba?
Yeah. Kare-kare namin, care because we
Yes,
care.
because
Okay,
we
mga
care.
nanay. Okay, so there you have it, mga kasangbahay. Naku, ito po, myths busted na. Okay, so thank you, Dr. Ryan Raymond Y. Bautista, the head of the Makati Medical Center Wellness Center. I can't thank you enough for joining us in tackling this very important topic. Okay, and thank you so much. So any final message to our viewers po na, that every woman, especially mga matiising Pinay, na to remember about their health?
Okay, so if you have any questions or any concerns regarding your health and wellness, you can visit us po sa Ayala North Exchange. Katabing-katabi lang po kami ng Makati Medical Center on the 7th floor, Tower 1. We're open from Monday to Saturday. Just visit us and we'll give you a care for women's, and not only for women's but also for men, for your whole wellness and holistic approach po.
Okay, Doc, at baka may gusto kang batiin, yung wife mo na hindi man lang nasa-stress sa'yo, yung daughter mo na napakatalino, and mom mo.
Yes, of course, I like to say hi to my daughter, Reynalyn, and to my wife, Armel, and to my mom and dad, and Bautista and yung Inco family.
Ayan, okay. Naku, maraming salamat again, Dr. Ryan Raymond Y. Bautista. So for more information about their services, you visit the Makati Medical Center website at www.makatimed.net.ph. You can also conveniently book an appointment online or reach their 24/7 hotline at 02-8888-8999. So 58 po yan, 39. Stay connected to world-class healthcare anytime. Or you can visit Makati Medical Center, your trusted health partner, located at number 2, Amorsolo Street, Legazpi Village, Makati City.
Maraming kababaihan ang nakakaranas ng biglaang pagbabago sa mood tuwing papalapit na ang kanilang menstrual period. Ito ay dahil may direktang epekto ang hormone sa ating utak, lalo na sa emosyon, pag-iisip at stress response. At iyan ang pag-usapan natin ngayong araw. Hi! I'm Dr. Vincent Aquino Manuel, isa akong cardiovascular at mental health specialist doctor. Alamin natin kung paano naapektuhan ng hormonal changes ang pakiramdam at isip ng kababaihan sa iba't ibang yugto ng menstrual cycle at kung ano ang mga paraan para mapanatili ang kanilang emotional at mental well-being. May 4 na pangunahing yugto ang menstrual cycle. Una, ang menstrual phase, kung saan mababa ang estrogen at progesterone. Pangalawa, ang follicular phase, kung saan unti-unting tumataas ang estrogen. Pangatlo ay ang ovulation phase, kung saan mataas ang estrogen. At luteal phase, kung saan tumataas ang progesterone tapos biglang bumababa bago ang regla. Ang biglaang pagbaba ng hormones, lalo na sa luteal phase, ang kadalasang sanhi ng mood changes. Tatlong bahagi ng utak ang pinaka-apektado sa mga ito. Una, ang amygdala, kung saan ang sentro ng emosyon at anxiety. Pangalawa, ang hippocampus, kung saan ito ang memory center at emotional regulation. Pangatlo, ang prefrontal cortex, kung saan dito napupunta ang ating decision making at impulse control. Kapag pabago-bago ang hormones, nagiging mas sensitibo ang bahaging ito at mas madali tayong makaramdam ng lungkot, iritasyon o kaba. Ang estrogen ay ang nagpapataas ng serotonin at dopamine o yung ating happy hormones. Ang progesterone naman ay may calming effect pero maaaring magdulot ng antok, brain fog or sadness kapag sobra o biglang bumaba. Kapag bumagsak ang estrogen at progesterone, bago ang menstrual cycle, bumababa rin ang feel-good chemical sa ating utak. Maaaring maranasan ang mga sumusunod, hirap mag-concentrate or brain fog, mabagal na memory recall, o ang pagkakaroon ng emotional sensitivity. Ito ay temporary at hormone-related lamang at hindi ito sinyalis ng kahinaan o kakulangan sa talino. Ang cycle tracking ay tumutulong para makilala ang pattern ng mood changes, mahinda ang sarili emotionally, maiwasan ang self-blame, at mas maagang makapansin ng abnormal symptoms. Kapag alam mo na ang cycle mo, mas naiintindihan mo mabuti ang reaksyon ng iyong utak. Ang menstrual cycle ay hindi lamang tungkol sa regla. Ito ay konektado sa ating utak, emosyon at mental health ng kababaihan. Kung may mga nararamdaman, huwag baliwalain. May solusyon, may tulong at may pag-asa. Ako po si Dr. Vincent Manuel at ito ang iyong health tips.
Okay, so let us remember that women's wellness is more than just being free from physical disease. It's about being physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually strong. And we'll talk more about this sa pagbabalik po yan ng Doctors on TV. Welcome back, mga kasangbahay! And let's tune in sa Naturally Yours.
Nakakaranas ka ba ng mood swings tuwing malapit ng iyong menstrual period? O kaya naman ay may mga araw na pakiramdam mo ay sobrang energized at ganado ka bigla? Alam nyo ba na pwede nating isync ang ating katawan sa menstrual cycle para mas ma-manage ang mood at hormones naturally? Hi, I'm Dr. Vincent A. Manuel, isang cardiovascular at mental health specialist doctor. Sa video na ito, pag-uusapan natin ang mga natural at practical na paraan para mas mabalance at mapangalagaan ang ating mood at hormones sa iba't ibang yugto ng menstrual cycle. Mahalaga ito dahil iba't iba ang pangangailangan ng katawan at utak sa bawat phase. Kapag naiintindihan mo ang cycle mo, mas naiiwasan ang self-blame, naiihanda ang ating sarili emotionally, at napapangalagaan ang ating mental health. Hindi ka moody, hormonal ka lang at normal iyon. Kapag bumaba ang hormones, mas nagiging sensitive ang ating emotions. Karaniwang ito yung nangyayari sa luteal phase, ang mga araw bago magkaroon ng regla. Sa panahong ito, biglang bumababa ang estrogen, mas bumababa ang ating serotonin at mas mabilis may stress o may irita ang isang babae. Ito rin ang phase kung saan mas kailangan ng pahinga at self-care ng ating sarili. Kailangan natin ng sapat na tulog, at least 7 to 9 hours per night. Regular light exercise, katulad ng walking, stretching at yoga. Stress management techniques tulad ng deep breathing exercise. Pagiging gentle sa sarili, hindi lahat ng araw ay high energy tayo. Minsan, pahinga ang pinaka-epektibong gamot. Kung tayo ay nasa follicular ovulation phase, mas okay ang social activities at workouts. Kung tayo naman ay sa luteal or menstrual phase, mas bagay ang journaling, light exercise at me time alone. Sa mga pagkain, kailangan natin ng complex carbohydrates, kailangan natin ng pagkain mataas sa omega-3 fatty acids, at iwas muna tayo sa sobrang caffeine at sugar. Kapag aware ka sa cycle mo, alam mo kung kailan mag-slow down. Naiintindihan mo ang pinaggagalingan ng iyong emotions, mas nagiging compassionate tayo sa sarili. Self-awareness turns confusion into clarity. Tandaan, self-care doesn't have to be expensive. Madalas, sapat na ang natural at practical na techniques para mapanatili ang ating mental well-being. Kung nakatulong ang video na ito, don't forget to share dahil sharing is caring.
Stay healthy, ladies! Pakiramdaman natin ang ating katawan, ipahinga natin ang ating isip at alagaan natin ang ating mga puso. Having a healthy mind and body allows us to live and love more fully. And of course, gusto ko rin pong pasalamatan ng mga taong patuloy na nagbibigay ng inspirasyon at suporta sa aming public service mission. Kuya Daniel Razon, maraming salamat po sa inyong walang sawang dedikasyon sa tunay na public service. And to BMPI's General Manager, Mr. J. Eusebio, may you both be blessed with good health and continued success, as well as all the members of the Management Committee of Career Group of Companies. And of course, binabati ko yung aking kambal. Hi kay Iyo and kay Iya. Hello kay EJ and kay Doc Aline. At sa mga pasyente po natin sa Barba Cabodil Health and Wellness Center. Also, I would like to greet mga taga-Delicates Food Corporation headed by Mr. and Mrs. Jonathan Mooney. Hi kay Tita Letty Duarte and kay Deng. Okay, and of course, Nanay and Tatay, I love and miss you both so much. At sa ating pong health partners, Doctors on TV would like to thank Soc Sargent General Hospital. For inquiries, you may visit their website at www.sgh.doh.gov.ph and River Valley Eye Center and Specialty Clinics Incorporated. For inquiries, you may visit their website at rivervalleyecsc.com. Doctors on TV would also like to thank Tondo Medical Center, located at Honorio Lopez Boulevard, Balut, Tondo, Manila. For inquiries, you may dial 02-8865-9000. Healthcare within your reach. Doctors on TV would also like to thank Fedel Mundo Medical Center located at 11 Banawe Street, Quezon City. For more information about their services, you may contact them at 02-871-20845. Kung gusto niyo pong balikan ang mga segments today o i-share sa mga kaibigan ninyong health conscious, pwede po. Just visit our social media pages, facebook.com/doctorsontv and hit the subscribe button on YouTube at www.youtube.com/@UNTV News and Rescue para po lagi kayong una sa health info. At huwag pong kalimutang tumutok ulit next Sunday, 9 a.m. dito lamang po sa UNTV. And also, don't forget to like and follow my Facebook page. Just type Dr. Sada Barba Cabodil in the search box. Muli po, magandang umaga at maraming salamat sa inyong lahat na tumutok sa isa na namang makabuluhang talakayan tungkol po sa ating kalusugan. Ako po si Dr. Sada Barba Cabodil at lagi pong paalala namin, let's make it a habit to learn about good health. Only here at Doctors on TV.
Doctors on TV would like to thank Makati Medical Center, the hospital with the heart, located at Amorsolo Street, Legazpi Village, Makati City. You may contact them at 632-8888-8999. Like and follow their Facebook page at I Am Makati Med, or you can visit their website at www.makatimed.net.ph. Doctors on TV would like to thank Makati Medical Center, the hospital with the heart, located at Amorsolo Street, Legazpi Village, Makati City. You may contact them at 632-8888-8999. Like and follow their Facebook page at I Am Makati Med, or you can visit their website at www.makatimed.net.ph. Lindesont Gas Corporation, located at 179 National Road, Landayan, San Pedro, Laguna, 4023. For inquiries, you may contact them at 02-8824-0867, 02-824-9360, or you can email them at lgcsalesco@gmail.com. Pro Biomed Care Incorporated, PB Med Doctors Clinic, located at Parañaque City, Ruiz Building, 365 El Grande Avenue, BF Homes, Parañaque City. You may contact them at 0943-0533-040 or 0917-8967-955. Clinica Figura, located at Entrata Building, Philinvest, Alabang. You may contact them at 0917-317-7272. Barba Cabodil Health and Wellness Center, located at Unit 1531, Centuria Medical Makati, Century City, Makati. You may contact 0917-317-7272 for appointments and other inquiries about your health and wellness needs. Special thanks to Makati Medical Center, Dr. Saturnino P. Javier, Medical Director, Interim Co-President and CEO. Mr. Arnold C. Ocampo, Chief Finance Officer, Interim Co-President and CEO. Ms. Arlene L. Songko, Senior Vice President. Ms. Monica Reyes Dizon, Assistant Vice President. Mr. Mark Punelas, Makati Medical Center Unit Head Manager. Communications and Special Projects,